The first semis of the ongoing FIFA World Cup has ended, and a behemoth in the name of the French national team has been sent packing. On the day where both teams came together, on the day where two traditional heavyweights, two traditional European powerhouses came together, the Spanish national team did show their dominance over the French national team. And this goes to lay credence. This goes to lay their superiority over the French national team, because over the past couple of matches that they have played, the French have not been able to get one over their Spanish counterparts. But the most critical or the most important element of this game is the fact that both sides determined, or both sides started the match in a 4-2-3-1 formation, because that is how the Spanish national team had played throughout the entirety of the tournament, and that is the same way that the French have also played. But one critical thing that the French did that did not really help them is the fact that they did not get the ball to Olise. The team has been built around the creativity, around the skill set of Olise, because anytime he gets onto the ball, he's able to find the spaces, he's able to break the defensive lines of the opposition, and then get the ball into Bakola, into Kylian Mbappé, and then Moussa Dembele. But today, he was stifled. None of the balls were able to get to him. And the moment you are able to prevent the balls, the moment you are able to prevent Michael Olise from getting onto the ball, you stifle their entire attack. And that's exactly what happened today, because for 90 minutes, the French national team failed to create any meaningful attack, not because they were not good on the day, but because the channels through which the balls were going to flow were not there. Because the Spanish knew how to stop the balls from going to Michael Olise. Because you realize that the French national team don't play through their flanks. They play through their middle when they're building from the back from Saliba, and then it gets to Michael Olise. So it is then the responsibility of Michael Olise to distribute the ball and then make sure that either the ball goes through the midpoint or through the flanks. And today that was not done. And I mean, kudos to the Spanish national team, because they did their homework very well. They knew the strengths and the weaknesses of the French national team. And one of the major strengths of the French national team is when Michael Olise and Kylian Mbappé gets onto the ball, especially on the flanks, because he then cuts in on his stronger foot, and then most likely going to find the bottom right corner or the bottom left corner of the goal. But today, they made sure that they hoarded the ball. The Spanish national team made sure that they hoarded the ball, prevented the channels from running, prevented Michael Olise especially. And the moment they stifled Michael Olise, I thought that probably Dembele would have dropped back a bit deeper and then get more onto the ball. Because if you're a most skillful player, if your ball carrier, if your passer is not having a good day, at least another player should have been able to come into the fold and then do what Michael Olise on a normal day would have been able to do. But that did not happen, and I think that it is an instructional failure, because as a coach or as a technical bench, when you realize that the game plan is not going, you change the whole setup, or you change the formation, or you change the instructions that have been given to the players in the same system, or they change the personnel. And it is that I think that Didier Deschamps did not do well in that aspect. But when you go to the Spanish national team, I think they did fantastically well. And what really gave them the confidence is the early penalty that they got. And to me, I thought it was a bit soft. Yes, I thought it was a bit soft, but at the end of the day, the discretion lies with the referee, and he thinks that it's a penalty, and Oyarzabal did justice to that. But I thought that when there's a Lamine Yamal in the match, I thought that he was going to take the penalty, but the hierarchy did indicate that it is Oyarzabal who should take it, and fantastically found the back of the net. And what really killed the French national team was the second goal from Pedro Porro. I thought that they allowed him too much space. They allowed him too much chance, because when the ball was floated to him, he gave a 1-2 pass, and the French defense were stagnant. Because you see, when you're playing against a team that is fluid, when you're playing against a team that are comfortable with or without the ball, but particularly with the ball, you have to be compact at the back. But that is what they failed to do. So when he gave the through ball and then gave the 1-2, and then past, what's the name? The last defensive line, he was alone with Mike Maynard, and under no circumstance was he going to miss that ball, and that's exactly what happened. But on the day, I thought that the French national team did not come to the party because, but if you look at what we've seen from the first match of the tournament till today, they have been practically the best team in this tournament, bar probably the English national team. But today they failed to come to the party. There was no urgency. There was no understanding. There was no correlation. There was no ingenuity from any of their players. Every single player on the part of the French national team was poor. And I'm not going to criticize the system. I'm not going to criticize the 4-2-3-1 system because that is what has served them very well. That is what has worked for them. You know, dismantling Paraguay, dismantling almost every country that they had faced in this tournament. But on the day where the 4-2-3-1 system was not, because you see, when you are playing against a team that is very, very comfortable on the ball, when you are playing against the Spanish national team that is going to hold majority of the ball, I thought that they should have used a lot more of the flanks because that is where you're going to have success. That is where you're going to have your pacemakers. That is where you're going to have Dembele and Bakola or Doué and Kylian Mbappé because you would have to play on the counter. You can have majority of the ball when you're playing against the French national team. So against the Spanish national team, and the French national team did not play according to their strength. The Spanish played to their strength because they knew they were going to have the ball. So they were just patient and then baiting the French to commit minor errors, and that's exactly what did happen on the day. But I mean, kudos to the Spanish national team. This is one of the problems that I have with big names, because when you have a team full of stars like the French do have, and not even a single one of them was able to come to the party. Because if Michael Olise is not having a good day, at least Kylian Mbappé should have a good day. Even if these two are not having a good day, then Dembele should have a good day. But if the whole front line is going to have a bad day, then it's going to be a problem. And it was really a problem. And the Spanish national team was able to take advantage of that. But I think that it has been a massive tournament for the Spaniards, because from the beginning of the tournament they've not been playing well. But the most important thing is that you get to the finals, and to me that's what they've been able to do. Because remember in 2010 they lost their first match. They lost their first match and then went to the finals and then beat the Dutch national team. And to me it's been a fairy tale. And one interesting thing is the fact that Lamine Yamal at this age, should they be able to get to the finals, or they've been to they are into the finals already, but should they be able to win the finals, will be one of the youngest winners of the World Cup. The Spanish national team are not really also playing well, but on the balance of play, if you are able to take your chances, you are going to carry the day. And the French national team did not take their chances, and they also failed. They also failed to become the second national team to have gone to the finals, to have gone to the World Cup finals 3 consecutive times, because they were in the finals in 2018, they were in the finals in 2022, and if they had gone to the finals in 2026, they would have equaled the record that was set by the Brazilians in the 1956 World Cup, but they failed to do that. And kudos to the Spanish national team as they march onto the World Cup finals. And we now do not know whom they are going to face. It's going to be either England or the Argentine national team led by Lionel Messi. But I think that the English national team is going to, carry the day. When they meet, and then probably go on to be the Spanish national team and then become world champions after 60 years of winning it. Because proud to this, they had won it in 1960. That was the first time they won it. So I think that it's going to be a fairly contested match in the finals, either between Spain and England, or Spain and the Argentine national team.